Hello, everyone. Hi again. Welcome to our favorite part of the week, except for the other parts.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm here again with you today to talk about what's exciting on Dead by Daylight. I have sheets of paper that I will go like this to look very serious.
Hi,
we
Bjorn.
ready? Yeah. Hi, Bjorn. Do we have mods today? Oh, Bucket's here. Hi, Bucket. Clyde, Murph, Sassy, Suggestive, and Faded. Again, our troop is almost all there. Thank you very much for joining us and making sure that this doesn't turn into
Mic is clicking.
The mic is clicking?
It is good now. All right.
All right. That's just a moment.
Matt,
Yes?
can we address the elephant in the room?
Yes. So once again, Bjorn, there seems to be just a slight typo in my name. But that's okay. We'll figure this out. We'll get to it. I appreciate the efforts. We'll get there. All right. So thank you. Yes.
That was not what I was talking about.
That's not it. Okay. So yes, the DLC is not coming out this week. The new chapter. We are finishing it, we're polishing it, we're making sure it is perfect for when we release it. There are also a few really cool changes that are coming in with that patch, so we will talk about some of them a little later, but so yeah, the DLC is not coming out today, therefore it's not coming out this week. I am not allowed to tell you any more than that, but that's the thing. So maybe we can put that. DLC not coming out this week. Just so people can stop spamming it and they have the information. So there.
Yep.
There you go. Understood? Yes, good? Yeah, cool. All right. Second thing, MLGA is safe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go on.
Or am I make notes on that? They're at my desk.
Okay.
So basically, MLGA has been whitelisted. It is a tool that is allowing you to view the ping of the killer, and yes, there's a blacklist involved, but you're never going to see the actual ID of the killer. You're not going to see the Steam profile through it. Any more things that we need to say about that?
Not really. It's just the fact that some people have been using the tool. Last week we told people we need to vet it to make sure that it uses our game, that it interacts with our game properly. We looked at it and it feels like it's safe enough. So we are gonna. We're not necessarily promoting it, but we're saying some people want to use it, and we are
also
calling it safe. It's very warm in here.
Important that you understand that we're also working on our own tool to.
No, but it's cool because there's a need for something like that right now. Some people feel the need for something like that, and there's a tool that doesn't. Some people do feel the need for something like that.
Looking at me.
Well,
okay.
You're the only other person here, except for Bjorn. And so some people feel the need for that, so they can use that tool for now until we make our own.
Yes.
There you go.
All right.
But it removes a little bit of the pressure of making that right now because there's a.
Are we ever gonna see the killer's profile again?
In the game?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a conversation we need to have. As I said earlier, the reason we did that was on the design side. We said, we don't want to. It was there was a little bit of lore and intention and role play behind, but also we thought the idea behind the game was that you shouldn't know anything and you should go into it blind, and it's part of the stress and the unknown is part of why it's stressful, but it carries a lot of. It can create bad experiences because not everybody plays with the best of intentions, but also because some people are far away and some things, and some people you don't want to play with and you block them, and therefore there are issues that we know exist and we'll try to fix them. So I don't know if we're going to put that or if we're going to find other ways to circumvent the problem. Even if we did something like, if you block people on Steam, then these people can never be in a game with you. If you say if you have a certain ping or more, then you cannot start a lobby. There are ways to do that.
Then let me ask you a question. So if we're blocking people for not really not harassment, not lagging, but just like the way they play, Would that encourage that?
I don't know, but that's it. So that's a deeper question than just me
Yes.
making a vague statement. But I'm saying we have different ways of dealing with that issue. I don't know which one we're gonna go for.
Because I can see the both side, right? Survivors don't want to play laggy killer or some type of killer, but I can see also killers who are like, hey,
I don't
like
wanna-
I'm good at the game and people block me because they don't want to face me, and we kind of don't want to penalize
Well, that's
these
it.
killers either. So we need to think about this.
There you go. So, loss of progress. We had issues with loss of progress lately. The patch we did, I think yesterday at 5 or around that, should have fixed a large proportion of those issues.
Yeah, we actually had 2 hotfixes
Yeah.
patches for this issue specifically.
So it had to do with the fact that now the save games are on our own backend. So these are the first moments of us creating that backend we've been talking about forever. And there were some issues in there that we figured out. So there's edge cases when the game gets into a certain state, then it's stuck and it
Just
stops
want
trying to save.
remind everyone of our, priority list.
Okay.
So solid 1.5. So we had like a big issue here, loss of progress, which we addressed this week. And what's next? Matt, what's next? After we do the 1.5, second
you
on the
tell me.
list, do it. DLC. Come on.
Oh, that's right. It's not there.
Yeah, it's alright. I'm gonna talk about it later, but I just wanna
Yes, the
Put it-
DLC is the next thing coming up.
exactly. This.
Claudette Brazil is fixed. So there was an issue with the text not appearing properly, which is silly, and it happens.
Also, we cannot give a date, and Paul told me, tell them it's marketing
What date
for the
what?
DLC. We cannot give a date.
Yeah, didn't we
the
just say
DLC.
that?
Yeah, but Paul told me.
You can add that to the crawler then. Paul said we can't give a date.
There we go.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Bjorn. All right, patch notes. We want to talk. No, that's old. Why did we leave that on? We're not supposed to talk about this. We talked about that last week.
No, that's for here. This one.
Okay.
Right here.
1.5.08.
The changes that happen in the hotfix.
Ah, yes. Well, that's it. Most of it had to do with that. We added the Shrine of Secret content for the week. That's thing. The English text for the Claudette Brazilian torso customization item. And then there's a bunch of bug fixes that went in. So the text for Adrenaline perk now mentioned that the perk will activate after being freed. An issue causing a specific house in Haddonfield to always spawn without window blockers
So the infinite house
is now
is
not
now,
that infinite.
Yeah, exactly.
An issue causing progress, blood point, and pips to be applied to the player profile and kill your friends. That was a silly thing.
And game breaking.
Fixed a
Obviously.
frequent direct text driver crash. These are like they pass by, they pop up here and there, especially because these the drivers for either video cards or direct text or all these things get updated here and there, and then suddenly they don't work anymore. So as much as we can, we find them and we fix them. Yeah,
Sorry.
go on.
Bjorn, please put a sad face at the end of the scroll.
Yeah, okay. Fixed an issue causing progression to not save when relaunching the game by reducing the frequency of profile data save requests. And fixed an issue causing the private competition spectator to not see certain status affect the condition icons. So balance landing, leader, adrenaline, hope, and the debuff of dying light. That
Yes.
has been fixed, which is great.
And yesterday we
Yes.
added that last bug fixing patch. So if you want to read it.
Failure to write save game progress to the Dead by Daylight servers are not considered fatal and will not prevent writing progression to the Steam cloud.
There
Yeah,
we go.
okay, so that's part of the loss of
Loss
progress
of
thing.
progress.
And an issue that could cause the game to stop saving player progression after playing and kill your friend, which is another way that people ended up with loss of progress.
So right now we are looking into a way to address that loss of progress for the players that experienced it. We do not have right now a solution for that. We're still monitoring if anyone is still experiencing that issue before we are, putting out there what we're going to do with that loss of progress. So
there you go.
we're looking into ways to give you back, or as much as we can. There we go.
So some user saying, Brock Lesnar 62 is saying, if there's no DLC, I'll tombstone pile driver my sister.
Don't do that to your family.
Well, unless she's, that's like a reward. I don't know. Some people, all need a hobby.
Okay.
Status effect in depth. Are we getting to that?
Yeah, we can get into that, but we need the person that's gonna come.
We need a special guest star. So, like last week, we had a little in-depth moment about bloodlust to give a little more context and explain a little better that new mechanic. Hopefully you like that section. I didn't really see if there was a big feedback one way or another, but if you do enjoy this, which I think I do, we'll keep doing in-depth moment through the program to talk to people about a specific thing. This week it's gonna be the status effects. So the status effects are those new icons that talk about the different conditions you can be in, and they are they're rather important to the game. Some people were a little unclear about how it works, so we thought we'd talk about that.
Okay. So don't forget that we still have the question and answer.
Were you supposed to call someone about that?
Yeah, we're supposed to call Yannick or Steph.
Okay. Do they know?
They do know, but I don't know where they are.
Okay.
So we also have Matt that's gonna come
Talk about the map
maps,
changes.
the map changes that are incoming.
So
real quick.
hopefully someone is telling either Yannick or Stefan that we need them.
Actually,
In the meantime, I'll answer a few questions from this.
there you go.
The number of killers who abuse DC exploit, pulling the Ethernet cable, are still increasing. Any plans on fixing this serious issue?
So that the answer that we have right now is the current system. In the current system, we cannot prevent that, right? But we are thinking about a way to, when we have the backhand and the softband system and the information that are all coming in, pulling your Ethernet cable will probably be
A softband.
a softband.
Hey!
Hello.
Hi! So I'll... sorry about that. I've got a bit of a sour trout.
Nurse Blink sensitivity.
Do we have a name for this guy? No? Okay, that's not a problem. So, this is my friend Yannick. He's a designer on the program, and he's going to talk about the status effect because he worked on that.
Oh yeah, apparently.
An image for that, Bjorn, if you want to put it up.
Yeah, that would be
Thank
helpful.
you.
'Cause
That was,
it's all linked with the icons that appear that nobody seems to
There we
understand.
go. I just put this one.
Oh
there
yeah,
we
that's
go.
good.
All right then.
Yeah,
That
so
me too.
at the moment, although the status effect is and the proficiency indicator are all linked in the same system, but later on they're going to be divided in two to make it more understandable. So,
How's that going to matter? Like, is there going to be different types of icons? Or?
no, it's the same icon. It's just the way that they're going to be displayed. So status effect is what affects your character that comes
Negatively?
from. Not necessarily. It
Positive
comes
or-
from
Oh, yeah, okay.
other things like, for example, we see here like bloodlust, exhausted, aced, vulnerable, bleeding,
Yep.
and we have others that are coming later. And proficiency icons are going to be displayed when you do the actual action. So at the moment, everything is on screen, which is a bit overwhelming, but it's going to be fixed later. So
Okay.
when you actually like cleanse a totem, you're going to see that, oh, I'm performing badly because I have something on me or whatever. Same thing for healing, sabotage, repair, and efficiency. So for example, like cleansing, we I don't think we have. There's another status effect that's going to be called curse. Later on, that's going to be linked with the X totem. So
Makes
when
sense.
you discover that at some point you're affected by a totem, you're going to have the curse status effect.
So, for example, someone downs you in one hit, it's token 3
Uh,
from Devour Hope,
Yeah, exactly. But
and
you're
gonna
gonna
have the status effect.
yeah
Even if, you saw your character
dead.
dead,
Well,
Okay.
not dead, but dead.
not down.
Well, the vulnerable is going
Okay.
to be very helpful. Like if you're playing against Myers and he gets to tier 3, Actually, this is going to be changed to exposed, the thing. But so you know that you can be down in one shot.
Okay.
Although you do not know when it's going to end or whatever. This is all on the Meyer side, but at least you understand why you got down one shot.
So, for example, if we go down the list,
Yes.
like, can you explain
Sure.
which? Yeah.
So bloodlust is on the killer side. It's
Yeah,
the
yes.
new system in. It just activate based on time. So and then we have exhausted. Exhausted is specified to perks at the moment. Although we never know. Like all this is how it is now. But I mean, like maybe later we're gonna
It's
have
a new
perks.
system that we can then use with anything
Yes,
else.
exactly. So maybe at some points the killer might have an attack that causes exhaust, but at the moment it's just linked to sprint burst and
Adrenaline and
adrenaline.
balance landing.
balance landing. Exactly.
Yeah.
Aced is we do not show ace when you actually active sprint burst because it's so
Short.
so short. So we kept it for a perk that gives you like a longer time in effect, like Hope. I think it lasts for 2 minutes or
Yes.
something, and it's a very minimal increment. Vulnerable is the one that I just mentioned that gets you down in one shot. Myers has it. No one escaped death. I think NOED, right? It's another example. And bleeding is mostly about the trapper traps. I think at the moment, like heavy bleeding.
Yeah, maybe butcher.
Yes.
Like sloppy butcher, stuff
Exactly.
like that. That is
Yeah.
linked with it. What's vulnerable?
Vulnerable is the one that you get
It's
down.
get down in one hit,
Yeah.
like the no end or something.
Okay, because I felt like this one was popping up on borrowed time right now.
Yeah, because we didn't split it because
Okay.
at first we tried to have a system where it shows like one and be positive or negative,
Mhm.
but people find it confusing, so we split it in.
Okay.
It's just positive or just negative. In
Okay.
borrowed time, we're gonna have endurance later.
Okay.
So when you get borrowed time, you're gonna know
So
that.
for
it's
now,
positive.
it's under this one,
Yes.
but eventually it's going to be
Well,
changed.
yeah. You
because
you
that's-
have arrows up and down also that indicate
Yes.
if it's positive or negative. We're getting rid of it also to make it more clear.
Yeah, so the proficiency is going to have arrows, but the status effect is going to be the status, right?
Exactly.
All right.
Except bloodlust shows still level because it increments over time.
Okay.
So yeah, that's.
So, can you explain the ones to
Oh yeah,
the
the
right?
proficiency indicator. So when you are affected by something else that's not coming from your perk, like your friend as leader, for example, when it comes nearby you, you have those icons that pops up and tells you what are the bonus that you are receiving at the moment. So skills is currently affecting whenever skill check happens and skill check difficulty. They're going to be split in two also later. Cleansing is when you actually cleanse a totem. Healing is when you heal someone. So you have the progress bar, and you're gonna see these.
So is it
indicators.
linked to the level of the perk? So for example, I'm playing against a killer that has Thanatophobia 3.
Mhm.
Do I
So
have
it's down.
3 little down arrow, or it's just one little down arrow?
This is another thing that we're gonna change. At the
Okay.
moment, it just shows what is applied to your character
Okay.
and not a cumulative result.
Okay.
And people don't like it, so we're changing to make it a cumulative result because you don't care about what's affecting you. Now you want to know, am I good or bad?
Mhm.
Yeah, is
So-
it like really bad right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Am I like really
Exactly.
badly like
So-
impaired on my
Yeah.
healing?
So now you just know what is currently affecting you, like it pop-ups on the right. So you know if you get a bonus in healing or sabotage or repair. And later on, we think that having it on the actual bar is going to make it make the screen less crowded
Yeah.
and going to be more like matters about what you're doing.
So there's a plan to migrate all of these icons to the bottom of
All
the
the
screen.
proficiency icons.
Okay.
So all those going to
Good.
be everything that is actually about action going to be
Mhm.
moved on the action space.
Okay.
Cool.
And the efficiency one is the one about your item consumption rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Cool.
That's helping.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
actually
that,
helping me.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's still a work in progress, so it's still gonna change. So we're probably gonna see you in
Yeah.
a few weeks
Yeah.
to explain them again.
Yeah, and so now they know I'm a real person.
Yeah, oh, true, because there were some people debating on some Steam forums because Yannick was posting things and they
Yeah.
were like, he's a fake. That's a
No.
real
He's-
person.
he
I can
exists.
totally touch him and everything.
Okay. So,
So there you go. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for joining us,
No
and
problem.
get back to work. We
Are
have
we
shit to
getting
do.
mapped right now?
Yeah, can you send us Mr. Walker when you can?
Alright, so we can go down the
Okay,
questions.
I have a question here from Exposed 3D saying, could you please add the possibility to use sprint burst when we need it while we can sprint normally? So like you could trigger it on a different button so you could run when you want and then trigger sprint burst. The thing
Yes,
is,
so you don't have to walk around the place to keep your sprint burst.
we've talked about this in the past quite a lot actually, and the thing is, sprint burst is already so more powerful than pretty much it's always on the top 5 of the perks used forever. So making it even more powerful by doing that is
would
not
definitely
necessarily a
be
good change.
A buff to sprint burst.
And just talking about
Do we need-
buffing sprint burst right now seems like a silly thing to do. So a very valid question, and it's something we had talked about at some point, because obviously when you're counting on your sprint burst, it can be frustrating to not be able to use it because you have to walk everywhere, but it's part of the price you pay for that. And it's a very it's a cheap price to pay, I guess, for something like that.
Alright.
What are your thoughts on making custom skins for killer item?
It's considered, but as I understand Dave, he told me that he prefers adding more looks to the killers, more different looks overall than tweaking items.
Okay. I kind of like this where I ask the questions and you answer. Because, today I was stuck in meetings all morning, so you actually went out and got the answers. from
Don't
people.
touch this one, we're gonna talk about it later.
This one?
No, this one.
Okay. So, why did you change the pallet breaking animation?
So it wasn't change, it is a bug. So
All
there we
right.
go.
Oh, that's Mr. Walker coming in.
Why are you
Hi, Matt.
talking?
You're not supposed to knock on the door.
Oh,
Are we-
just in case you're doing something important in here.
Yeah, no, it's right here.
Oh, where's...
No.
Oh.
Matt, do not try comedy. This is not the place or the time for this.
Well, actually, I just have one really important thing to say, and then I'm pretty much done. There are a lot of fixes which...
Sit down,
No,
Matt.
yeah. Especially
What?
because
How am I... What?
just
Guys,
jump
Go
in.
around, holy crap.
Oh, come on. You can do the Riker maneuver.
there you go. So this just in.
It's funny because this is a green thing, so right now you're actually just invisibling things.
That's awesome.
Alright.
Okay, no, you're not supposed to play with that though.
This just in. The swamp is going bye-bye. Yes, the swamp is going bye-bye.
That's not true.
Not
Says
really.
it right here. Swamp redux.
Yeah, but it's not going bye-bye. You're just
We're
fixing
still
it.
gonna
For
get the
everyone
water
that
form.
actually enjoys the size of the swamp or the current map, which there are some people which enjoy
I
it.
like it.
Well,
I
you
like-
better play
I like
it.
hating it.
You
let's
better,
say.
you better stop skipping it and start playing it because as of the next update, we
It's
are
gonna be smaller.
yes, we are dealing with the it's too big problem. So there's
I've
the,
heard that.
There's the oversized fix
Oh,
which is
okay.
coming, and there's the it's too spread out problem. So the diluted distribution fix. Both of those are coming in. What it basically means is the map is going to be smaller, and all the important gameplay elements are going to be concentrated
In the middle.
towards the middle of the map.
Okay.
Anything else I might have to say is actually completely.
No, you had a ton of things
You had
to
a-
say.
other
That was
shit to
super
talk
Yeah, but then we got the update on some of it's actually coming in, some of it's actually not coming
Well,
in.
we can still
It's
talk about
it's
it.
fixes and stuff. Seriously, the only other thing that's really important would be Haddonfield. So the recent bug we've been
Ironworks
seeing.
pick up and stock fix. No, I can't talk about that.
No, but Steph just sent an email saying, "Oh, this got in, that didn't get in." And
Oh,
that's
yeah,
why I
right.
just wanted to say, Haddonfield, the recent problems with the fences,
This is, yeah.
those issues have been solved. That's getting in.
All right.
Lighting on Adam
So
Hill.
essentially,
Yeah,
just to
the-
explain this, because now it's a little of a weird moment. There's a lot of fixes that went in that you did. You made changes to maps to fix them.
Which is what I do when I have time in between big deadlines. Like this, I'm going to do a little parenthèse, a little in between
on.
real quickly. We just finished, not too long ago, the new map for the new DLC, which
Yeah, be
is...
careful.
I didn't say anything. I was going to say
Fine.
something, but No, which is actually a really, really big deal. Like,
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
I tried looking for examples of interior 3D maps procedurally generated.
It's not many.
There's not many. So we had these big problems that we're tackling, big challenges that we enjoy tackling to bring this new content to the game. And it kind of makes us not able to act directly on some of the other issues which crop up.
But now you had a little bit of time.
Right. So as soon as there's a little bit of time, then we get on it, and so those are a couple of them. What else? Do you
No,
have on the list?
what I was gonna say is that you have a list of things that you
Yeah,
fixed,
yeah,
but they will be cherry picked and put in the update.
Yeah.
Because some of them depend on other changes that might not
Exactly.
make it at the same time. So
Exactly.
and the thing is that right now we really want to push the next patch out really quickly because it's the DLC. So
It's big. It's
some
gonna be
things might not make it in the big list of changes you've done. Just quickly, Gas Haven was touched a little bit.
Yeah, there was
Suffocation-
an impassable gap between a stack
Yeah.
of cars. And,
Suffocation Pit was.
yeah, that's not making it in.
Oh, okay. Haddonfield. a
That,
few
so
things.
all the Haddonfield stuff's getting fixed. So we had the fence blockers, the double window infinites, and
Lighting.
also the weird kind
dark
of
house
dimming
perimeter fix. Yeah.
dark house perimeter fix. So now when you're outside the house, it won't go dark. When you go in the house, it's still getting dark. It's a feature, so that's fine.
You don't seem to agree.
No, it is. It's a feature.
Okay.
It is. It's a feature.
Okay. A maze distribution rework.
Yeah, there's a major rework in the process. Well, actually, it's in the pipeline. It's been submitted. It's not making into the next build.
Okay.
But it's a question of making sure that the maze tiles, which is, aka jungle gyms, aka break your ankles tiles, are being re-looked at to make sure that there's not a kind of
The 4 lanes won't spawn with
right.
The 4
So
lanes
so
and
so
things
that
like
you don't have very abusable configurations that appear. Now this is a first pass, but it's something that we've been looking into. Also to make sure that shacks don't spawn next to abusable configurations.
And it's
of,
gonna
gyms and maze tile.
it's gonna have an impact on the asylum, the cowshed, the creek, and the abattoir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly.
Oh yeah, and
To
to talk
start
about
with.
the swamp redux.
And
Yeah.
so people were asking, what about the pallets that are standing up? What about the places that
Right,
are
so-
unpassable?
Yes, yes. So the palette thing is a weird kind of client server issue where there's a screw up in communication there for some odd reason, and they think they're supposed to be one place and they're actually appearing somewhere else.
For one
So-
of the, it's not for all of the people on the map at the same time,
No.
which is really something weird.
No, that's it. That's why some people it's different for others because of the replication over the network between client and server. So that's actually what's up with that. Impassable bugs, where survivors can go and killers can't go. This is a thing I think we'll be looking at forever. It's just the nature of our randomly generated environments. Normally these are bugs. Bugs don't scare us. We just fix them and we move on. My focus is on balancing the game, so fixing the maps. This is a more progressive thing that depends on the foundation of the game, which is generally the game design. So now we have Bloodlust, which is going to entail some changes and tweaks, primarily to the palette loop setups, because a lot of them are just totally unsafe now. So we want to bring that back. So we have to look at that in the near future. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that we're doing, but we'll keep the lid on it for now.
All right then.
Great.
That was a few mouthfuls of stuff.
It was, and I'm off because there's so much work to do.
Thank you very much for
Yeah.
your. Yeah, well, you're a big guy. What
All right.
What are you gonna do?
All right.
Okay, see you later.
All right. Whew. That was exciting. I think I need a nap now.
All right. I could go to community report maybe, and then
What's
we
up with skill checks?
to go with the questions. All right. So we know certain players are experiencing kind of a lag in the skill check department. Currently, we're working on the fix. Hopefully, it's going to make it to the next patch. It's to help people with low FPS because skill checks are generated client side. So if you're experiencing low FPS, you're going to experience lag on skill checks.
There you go.
So that's the answer for it.
will we have a change for urban evasion that only reduces its positive benefits while injured, as opposed to completely eliminating the benefits of the perk?
After talking with Mr. Oravat, we are thinking about making it always usable. So, for example, you get the buff even if you're injured. So we're thinking about it. We'll see if it makes it
All right then.
after testing.
Then we have
And the stats.
how have average game times, points, and in-game rating report changed since the release of 1.5? That is a very...
I don't have the answer to all of them, but I have a few stats that I'm going to show you a little bit later. After
Not now?
Oh, you want to
Well, sure, we can do that now.
go with the stats now?
Okay, what about the charity pack? Okay, there's a lot of people asking about the chastity pack. We are still working on that right now. It's a lot of people to get together at this point, and there are, as soon as you involve legal in any way, there's always delays, because then you need to have formal paperwork sent, and every single one of those streamers and YouTubers that we have on this have to receive the paper, find them in their spam folder because they didn't look, and then sign them and send them back. So we have to put in a deadline on our side. At some point, we're going to be like, oh, you know, it's too late. Those 3 people didn't get back to us in time, so they're out. It would be very sad. So we keep sort of making sure that everybody's got enough time to look at this, and then hopefully we can have that wrapped up quickly. But we're still
one-
working on it. The brunt of the work is done.
Yeah.
We also need to find the right charity to send that to.
Yeah.
So Médecins Sans Frontières, which is the one we had originally mentioned, they have a very strict policy about where their charity funds come from, and they do not accept donations from games that feature human-on-human violence, which we kind of do.
Are the killers human, though?
It's debatable, but I
But-
don't think they care about that.
Yeah. And maybe we can answer one question right now. The Dweird, Street Meg, Daddy Jake, and Chuckle Mask won't be in the
No, they
charity
will not be
kits.
in the charity pack.
So you can stop asking.
Some of the streamers' exclusives are based off of these models, but
They're not making it as a
no, they're not
Is it-
exact copies of that.
as is. Sorry.
All right. Spotted Dog is saying, I know I asked, but I'm still unsure. Our save file no longer client-side and saved on your end? Does this mean I no longer need to periodically back up my save file? I think that some stuff is still local.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea to do that.
Some stuff is still local, so
All right.
don't lose your good habits, I would say.
Getting face camped almost every match. Please let us see the killers in the lobby.
Almost every match, really? That's a lot, though.
That's a yeah.
That's a lot. And that I never experienced that at almost every match. It happens once in a while. I was watching some streamers who have it done a lot to them. What about the unhooking from all sides? Change.
What about it?
Okay, it didn't make
Is
it
it
to
in there?
it didn't make it to 1.5.
Yeah.
But that was something we were trying for, face camping, to address face camping.
Yeah.
We're still working on something. So we don't have the right way to prevent face camping yet.
All right. You have a lot of those answers where
Yeah,
about thanatophobia. Can you make it working not only for injured, down survivors, but even sacrificed ones? Otherwise, it's more odinophobia than thanatophobia.
So we're looking into it, but right now in the meta and how long the gens are taken, it is a very strong perk. So for now, of course, we're always reworking perks. We're always re-looking at them. This one is very strong right now, so we're not touching it for now, for sure. Not a priority. But we know that this is
Yeah.
a concern, something that we want to check.
Would you consider a unique killer notification when someone is breaking your totem while you have Thrill of the Hunt equipped? On the same note, if you have several hex perks selected, could the killer have the ability to see which active totem on the map is tied to which perk if he wants to prioritize defending one over the other? Perhaps by looking in its direction, the perk icon will
So-
reveal itself on your screen.
So what the game designer told me about this one is what they want to do is to have kind of a detection So when you look at the totem as the killer, the one that's lit, it's gonna light up the perks it's associated with.
Yeah.
So it makes sense as the killer if you are making hex or building X's that you know which one is associated with one. So that's, but not for the survivor side though. You're never gonna know which, well, I'm not gonna say never, because we never know, but,
Well,
right? So not survivor sided right now, it would be the killer knows which perk is associated with which X.
Good.
There we go.
By how many % exactly do the luck offerings actually increase luck?
So we have it there.
Slightly is 1%, moderately is 2%, and considerably is 3%,
And
which
that's-
could be argued is not that considerable.
That's only for luck offerings. So those percentage are not, like when we use that word on other
Yeah, of course.
perks or items, it's not necessarily the exact percentage.
Okay. What's your opinion on the current game balance? That's a very
So-
broad question, but interesting.
It is, but we talked a lot about it with Orvat, and we were saying when people play an equally matched game, it is balanced. But the problem we can face right now is that we go into matches sometimes where we don't have the same level
Yeah.
of players. So this is why sometimes it could be seen as unbalanced.
Is there a fix for the nurse blink sensitivity in the works?
We are looking at it right now
Right now.
because the nurse sensitivity blink has been like told to me 100 million times, and I know it is an issue, and I experienced it. So we're gonna look into it. Maybe
Will there-
more control on it.
Will there ever be cross-platform?
Now, no. Very unlikely is what
Ever.
Steph said.
All right. You have altered the ability for trappers to trap under the hook, but allowed it for the hag. Is this intended, or will this too be altered?
It is intended because you have different ways to get rid of the hag trap. Don't forget you can crouch. I see a lot of survivors out there who still forget about it and then call the hag super OP. Also, we're looking into maybe interaction where you can wipe the X away. We don't know yet if it's going to make it, but this is something we're trying right now.
Will there be new game modes? If so, which ones?
I don't even know. It's okay. So we've been we've been exploring some new game modes, but it's really still in the idea state. So don't expect it
No,
now.
not right now. Will you give notification to survivors if the killers have no head or bloodlust?
So link to the status effect that we had, Yannick.
So vulnerable, for instance, is the icon that pops up if someone has no head that just triggered.
Yes, but not for bloodlust
No.
right now. No.
Back in the beginning, you have stated that you could pull from various sources for killer concepts any mythological or classic lore like Minotaur, Medusa, vampires, or werewolf monster. Top of the list of those you would like to include.
Those are great ideas. This is the answer I
I
got.
kind of want to try to avoid zombies if we can. That's always been a thing. I'm not sure about the vampires or werewolves. They seem a little overdone, but that's just me. If someone on the team brings up a good idea, I might jump in. I don't know.
Okay.
But yes, mythological creatures. I mean, of course, and you know, this is more classic, like Greek, Roman mythology. But there are great legends and folklore around the world that we want to dig in. Can you guys fix the short grass that disappears when you put your settings on low?
It is actually on Steph's list.
Yeah.
So yes, he's taking a look at that. And then the second question by the same person,
What do you think of various weather effects?
for example, hey, rain, or hey, like, thunderstorm. Well, since performance seems to be an issue for some players,
Of course, this would make it much
weather
worse.
offerings would be a
Yeah.
pain for low FPS users. So the performance would suffer too much. So it's a great idea, but we can't have that.
Can we have something to toggle the aura of the trapper traps to see if they are well hidden when placed, please?
No. No. So seriously, as the trapper, you place the trap.
Why?
You place the trap. You should know where you place it. If you take a few steps back, you can look at it, right?
It's the same sort of reasoning behind as a survivor. You don't see the scratch marks, and you're supposed to know the sort of thing you're gonna give.
Yes.
So good players will go play killer a little bit so that they have a sense of the trails they can leave. Can we have a sign or something else that shows us in the after game chat which survivor are still in the lobby? Yeah.
To actually say GG to people that are still there, right?
Yeah, because then you're talking to people and they're not there anymore, and
And
it's
then
sort
you're
of
sad
annoying.
because you're like, oh, it was a good game though.
Yeah.
You know, because endgame chat's always nice. All right. We think
Was
it's a
that
good
your
idea.
answer?
No.
Seriously?
No. We think it's a good idea, but we don't know how we would implement that yet. So it's still in the idea kind of place. It's not on paper at all yet.
All right. Oh, there's an interesting one here from Howie Newman saying, was the game always called Dead by Daylight? Were there any other names considered? So, interesting enough, there were a bunch of names considered. Actually, if you go back almost 10 years ago when the very first when the first meetings were held with, I think, Dave and Ash and Oz sitting together in a room with a few other people that are not around anymore, and they were talking about doing a really cool, maybe, slasher-inspired game, maybe single-player, maybe multiplayer. I wasn't sure at the time. There were a lot of names that passed by. There's Devil's Night and Torment and what was it called? The Hazing.
The hazing.
Yeah, there was a lot of names that passed by. I don't remember all of them. And then when we started this project a little more specifically, it was called Dead by Dawn for a bit, which is funny because the Chinese players call it Dawn Murder. Yeah, it was called Dead by Dawn for a bit, and then Dead by Daylight came in, and for a bit it was called Dead by Daylight working title, and then it became Dead by Daylight. So yeah.
All right.
Will you be fixing the skill check delay and aura reading? Auras look clunky through walls.
We're actually talking about aura reading right now because the skill check delay we addressed already.
Yep.
It's a low FPS problem normally. The answer I got for that was we are constantly optimizing the game.
Yeah.
So of course they know that the aura reading right now is a bit squarish compared to what the survivor actually looks like or the killer actually looks like. Even more if they are far in the distance. So we actually know, and we're gonna tweak that.
Yeah, but it's always a battle between making things look awesome and then making sure it runs smoothly on everybody's machine. So, is there somewhere we can submit our own perk ideas where they will be seen and get possible feedback from you guys? It would be great if the community could inspire some new content for you. The community has inspired quite a lot of good content for us, and we want you to keep submitting your ideas, especially if they're good ones.
We have an actual whole sub forum on Steam that is dedicated to suggestion and feedback.
And
And
Reddit,
we are reading them.
And
Reddit
Reddit,
is
obviously,
also
the
a good
beauty of
place.
it is that if it's a good idea and the people in the community
Gonna
get
get
behind, then
upvoted.
it's going to get upvoted, and then you're going to get visibility, which is sort of what you want.
This is QA. We had here a question about Iron Will and Strider interaction, right? So someone mentioned like, hey, is it a bug or is it supposed to be like zero sound from the survivor that's using Iron Will, right? Well, we tested it in QA right now, and person, you are right. We the use of Strider doesn't provide you any advantage against Iron Will, which
No.
is something we are definitely going to
Fix.
fix
There
because
you go.
it's not supposed to be like that.
That was from 4 Survivors Bully a Killer. That's a great username. The next one, Lucille is a vampire bat, asked, if you ever going to buff the raid, can you make him able to destroy gens while cloaked?
Well, actually, we had a good discussion about rate, and we were talking about this is not gonna happen, but we want a better as base kit.
Yeah.
So, for example, faster uncloak, maybe a little less more sound on the growl. So this is something that's in the work right now for the rate, because as a lot of people know, rate is having a bad time right now.
Oh, come on. Oh, and
I know,
we're
not
at-
gonna lie,
Yeah,
rate
okay.
is having a bad time right now.
We reached the end of the questions and we have here, where can I buy a DVD t-shirt? Official merch when?
Yes. This is actually,
Do you have a question in there?
yes, that is really important.
Oh, there's another one here.
But merch when first?
It's moving. I'd say this summer you'll be able to sport a shirt.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Hope so.
Okay. So
Freddie Rick is asking, bloodlust seem to be created to counter pallet looping cheesing, but the decay is too harsh when you destroy a pallet. The only time bloodlust is effective against pallet loopers is when they cheese around unsafe pallets. However, a good survivor will avoid using unsafe pallets or simply move on.
will bloodlust be looked at again?
Well, that's the question that you ask about anything, and everything is up for grabs all the time.
But bloodlust is going to be monitored a little bit closer.
Yes, for sure.
Because it's new and it's a new mechanic in the game. But we're not looking at it for specifically that, but we want to make it, instead of making it chase based, but maybe making it line of sight based.
Yeah.
So this is all in the works again. Not coming up the next patch, if I'm not
Interesting.
mistaken.
It says, for the Asian community, bald Dwight is referred to as explosion head. All right, interesting. I did not know that.
Okay. So we can take more questions after. I'm gonna go really quickly on community report and stats.
Okay.
So,
Yes, we only have a few minutes left.
exactly.
Jeez, time flies when we're having fun. Community report, please.
Yes. So, still the same priority, guys. Hello. So, stable 1.5 update. So, we had that 1.5 last week.
We hot fixed it.
We hot fixed it this week. There's still other stuff that are coming up. What's next? You guys say it.
DLC.
Okay.
DLC.
And then once the DLC is out, we're gonna go back on community issues. So scratch marks that are really broken.
Yep.
Lots of killer balance, lots of stuff that's going in there, field of view and everything. So that's the next thing. And of course, included in the back end, there's the whole matchmaking algorithm and everything we tested. And then, kind of at the same time, because the cosmetic packs are already been worked on and everything, and the community activities I'm doing at the same time, we're working on these issues. But that's the plan for the team. It is still the same. We almost out of the stable 1.5
Yeah.
update.
But just to reiterate, the reason why we pushed the 1.5 patch is because we wanted to make sure that when we came out with it, we didn't have to hotfix ridiculous big things. It was mostly good, and I think it was the right thing to do still. We wanted to do it earlier, but this was the right way to do it. And it's the same with the DLC. Originally, I remember very clearly, I'm sure someone is going to sound clip it at some point, we said, we are going to patch the 1.5, and a couple days later, we'll be able to have the DLC come out. And right now, it's going to be a couple more days, and the reason behind that is because we want to make sure that it's good when it comes out. That's it. What? What?
Nothing.
Okay,
All right. Next, please.
next slide.
All right. Oh, we're over the issues, but it's all right. Known issues, loss of progress. We already addressed everything with the hotfixes. But what about the progress some player lost? So we're still looking into it. We want to make sure this bug is really gone before we actually start on the what we're giving for that, right?
Yeah.
Nurse sensitivity is all the way up there because it's been problematic for a lot of players. It has been said over and over again, so we're looking into it. About the maps, so there's the occlusion and map bugs and everything. Most of them have been reproduced. Not all of them are going to be in the next patch, but see Matt Walker for infos in the upcoming
You're not
changes.
supposed to read presentations.
Oh, come
That's
on.
the first rule
Give
of
me a
PowerPoint.
chance, like.
You're not
Come
supposed to
on.
read it.
About the hooks, also, I think everybody has seen problems with the hooks. You get stuck in it, you get thrown in space, but
Yeah.
it wasn't on our priority list until we saw a lot of people getting
In stalemates where the game doesn't
stalemates,
end, and that's
where,
the problem.
where the survivors would get lunch on top of it and
Yeah.
never leave and hold the killer hostage, and this is not acceptable, so it has been put back on
Very high.
top priority with daily challenges. So
Yeah.
of course it was put aside for loss of progress fixes, but it's back on. And finally, we
Other.
have Bloodlust.
Oh, no.
Thank you. Bloodlust really right now divides like the whole community. Some people are saying it's not good enough. Some people are saying it's way too OP. We are looking into tweaks
Yeah.
to the mechanic, of course, and there's other bugs that are currently been looking at, but there's a couple of them, so I couldn't list them all. But there's like a sabot trap,
Yeah,
a
we can-
trap that's
we can read it.
open and that looks like it's sabot, but you run on top of it and you get crap.
Oh yeah.
So there's animations that are not exactly what they were. So all of this has been looked at too. So I think we have stats. I only have like 2 or 3
Okay.
slides of stats because
You just got the tool
I
yesterday.
just got the tool yesterday, so it was kind of
So what I wanted to, I had a few here. Did you put those in?
yes, I
Oh, okay. So
So for
Show us.
starters, Bloodlust, Stat Survivor,
I'm in the
Escape
way.
Rate. So the escape rate, the week before 1.5 and the first week 1 on the 1.5. So this is the escape rate of the survivors.
so 44% of survivors managed to get out alive the week before 1.5, and now it's dropped to 37%.
And what we're gonna do with these stats is we're gonna monitor them closely. Of course, right now people need to adapt to the new mechanics, so there's always like
gonna
an
level up.
adaptation period. But yes, it went down quite a bit.
Yep.
So we're still looking at it, and we're still gonna tweak the mechanic. And yep, we want to be transparent on how it changed things.
Next.
So this
Most
is
played
most played killers because I thought that was interesting to see what is played the most right
Mhm.
now. Nurse is really down there. Nurse also got
And that's just this last 7 days.
that's the last 7 days, and she also has a lot lower percentage of 4 kills
Yeah.
right
But
now.
also the nurse, the interesting bit is that the nurse is much more played by the
but the
high
highest
rank.
ranks.
The,
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a global overview of every game that has been played. So what you see mostly in the games are the killers on the left. I'm surprised with the rate, honestly.
I'm
But-
telling you, he's not having such a bad time.
No, is kill ratio is still lower.
Low.
The most balanced right now as kill ratio is Michael Myers and Hag.
I can see that.
Trapper is the strongest.
Yeah.
Strongest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah. So that's it. Trapper is everywhere. He is there.
Yeah, so
25.
190,000 games were played last
Unique
week.
players.
No, I was going to the second one.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Unique players, 175,000 unique players launched the game in the last 7 days. And there were 1.7 million survivor deaths, which is quite exciting.
So just remind people that these stats are for the overall, right? So if you're in the higher ranks, you're going to see more nurses.
Yes,
Just-
obviously.
when I'm more used with the tool, we're gonna get more stats.
Good.
Right?
Yes,
Good.
absolutely.
All right.
What do we else? What do we else? Ooh, killer props. Did you put those in?
No,
Oh, you didn't have
because I
them.
couldn't
Okay.
access
Next
them.
week. From the web, we have a few minutes. Let's go to the folder with the things in. I do not have the name of that amazing artist. Give me a sec right here. Whoops.
Buff Dwight. It's-
I have it here. So this is a beautiful image from Akamaid, I believe. At least posted by them. Buff Dwight is beautiful. Moving on, we have Dr. Mednick, who made this wonderful Canadian version of Dead by Daylight. Thank you very much for that. Sorry. Hel Gunju made this beautiful Nia art. I cannot go a week without putting up some Nia art. McChippy showed this beautiful art, which also served to create that little statuette next to it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you very much for your efforts. Natter Gian posted this very contemplative, very nice and moody piece about
He's
Michael
writing
Myers.
like poetry or
Yeah,
something,
well,
right?
he's not at the Starbucks, so he's obviously not working on his screenplay. But like he might be just updating his budget or something. I don't know. But I like it. I like it. Then we have NZ Zombie, who made this amazing rate.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I like it a lot. It's the fact that he washes everything but his hands and head. It's I don't know. There's some, or maybe it's a tattoo. I don't know. All right, that was amazing. Sandy Mizaki is here again this week because
Oh, nice.
it
That's
just
amazing.
never ends. Yeah, finger guns for the win. And then Sorix5 shows us this very nice
Ooh.
nurse with a slightly shorter dress than I'm used to seeing her, but it still works. Still works. So there. Thank you to everyone who keeps creating awesome art inspired by our...
I have a specific message. I'm
Okay.
just saying hi to Will War.
Oh, hi,
Hello.
Will War.
That's
I
it.
don't know who that is.
It's okay.
Okay. And we have a few minutes left. I will, first of all, repeat the news and announcements as usual. So, news, DLC is not this week, you can see this. MLGA is safe, it's okay to use it, we will not bark. Loss of progress has been addressed by the last two hotfixes, it should be okay now. The Claudette Brazil string of text for description and name has been fixed, yay. Those were the news and announcements. What else we got? Oh, words of wisdom. I found a little post yesterday that inspired me, and I think it was worth putting in there. It says, reminder, there's not two of you, internet you and real life you. There's just one. If you're not a good person on the internet, you're not a good person.
Ooh, that's...
There. I said it. Other than that, thank you very much to Bjorn for making this amazing once again. Thank you to Matt and Yannick for taking a moment to come and talk to us. Do we have a last question? No.
Can you tell us who is doing the voiceover for the new chapter? Is it
Well,
Ash?
no. Actually, it's usually me that does it now because Ash is not available anymore. So you will have my deep voice to regale you with the tales of the new chapter.
What
Hopefully
about the-
that'll make you happy.
What about the first person hook? When a survivor gets hooked and we'll get the first person like a killer? Yes, we know about it.
Okay, that was not exciting
It's-
as the last
no,
question.
it's not exciting. Oh, can we have a preview for the DLC?
Nope. Is Ash still alive? Probably. I saw him around at some point. He's probably okay. He's probably fine.
Oh, wait. Can we bring back the wandering pigs, please?
Oh, yes, I'd love that. We need to get
That's a good
actual.
last question.
We need to get a nav mesh in the game so that we can have NPCs running around, which we don't have right now because we don't have NPCs. But yeah, that'd be cool, getting the pig back. Yeah, that's it. So that's all I got. Thank you very much for your attention, and we'll see you next week.